extra. And then I will then let's put some music on and let's get to cooking. Hey guys, welcome to another video. I'm Johannah. If you're new here, certified personal trainer, nutrition coach, founder of the Holy Fit movement, where we're on a mission to create a stronger, healthier body of Christ, one workout at a time. So if you love Jesus Christ, you love the Lord, but you also want to take care of your body and you like to be fit, then this is the place for you to be, because that's what we're all about here. So for today's video, guys, I am going to be meal prepping with you. So I'm about to go grocery shopping. It's a little bit later than I normally go grocery shopping, but I don't know, been feeling a little bit lazy. But I'm about to go to Aldi and then I'm gonna go to Central Market. So I used to get all of my produce from Aldi for some time just to make things easier, but I don't know what's been going on, but I've realized the quality of produce has been diminishing. I don't know if it's the particular store that I go to, but I've realized it hasn't been the best produce. Like my strawberries, I found mold in it last week, which was weird. And then like a few weeks ago, I had bought a bag of tangerines and it was like all mushy and like smashed, and it was a lot going on. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I've gave them a lot of tries and for the most part they have been pretty good, but I don't know what's been going on. So I just want to make sure I'm getting fresher produce. So I'm going to go to Central Market for all of my fruits and veggies, but my like meats and stuff I'm still going to get at Aldi, and all the other little like generic things like Greek yogurt and things like that I'm going to get at Aldi. All right, so I got my phone pulled out and I'm going to read you guys this week's menu. So for breakfast it's going to be hard-boiled eggs with turkey bacon, some Greek yogurt with strawberries and blueberries, very simple. Then for lunch it's going to be beef and broccoli stir-fried kind of thing with like rice. So think about like the beef and broccoli that you normally get from like a Chinese food restaurant, but we're gonna make it at home, make it way more healthier and taste the way that I want it to taste. And then for dinner, it's going to be honey garlic salmon with corn on the cob and some green beans or some Brussels sprouts. I don't know what I have decided on yet, but we'll see once I get to driving and going to the grocery store. And then for my pre-workout or post-workout carbs, whatever I feel like, it's going to be some sourdough bread with some peanut butter and some honey on there. And then for my snack, it's going to be another Greek yogurt, but this time I'm going to be putting some honey roasted cashews with some cinnamon. Y'all, I'm going to put you on to this snack because when I tell you this snack is so good, so good. So one thing that makes me save money when I go grocery shopping is that I make a grocery list, and I make it at the beginning before I go grocery shopping. I write down every single thing that I want to eat for that week based off of the meals. I build my meals around my protein. So usually I start with the protein in mind, and then after that I'll add all the other stuff in there so I can make sure I'm hitting my protein goals. Then once I have all my meals listed for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, then I'll make my grocery list based off of the meals that I've selected, and then I'll usually go in my fridge, see what I have left over, and see if I can make some meals out of that too. And then I'll have a grocery list. And I also calculate how much of like meats and stuff that I'll need. So normally what I do is, like, let's say I am going to have 6 ounces every day of like the steak. I will multiply the 6 ounces based off of how many days I'm going to be cooking for. And then that's how I'll know how many ounces or pounds of meat that I'll have. So I don't have to overbuy or underbuy. And that helps me stay like right on budget. And if you guys are wondering how I actually like create my meals, what I do is I go on MyFitnessPal, and then on MyFitnessPal, I just sit down. It normally takes me anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour, depending if I'm being extra. And then I will then put in things on MyFitnessPal to make sure that it meets my macros and requirements. So I'll basically screenshot what I did on MyFitnessPal and show you guys. All right, let's get going. Okay, you want me to go grab another one? No,
I think it would do great. Cooks quick.
Yeah, I'm about to grab some of these. All right, we just got back from the grocery store. Let me show you guys what I got. this fine Sunday. I know, guys. So it's the next day, and we are going to get ready to meal prep. It's already 6 p.m. I normally do not start meal prepping this late. Normally, by this time, I'm almost done meal prepping. But, we started a little bit later today, and that's okay. It has to get done by any means necessary. I personally recommend everybody that is short or time or simply just does not like cooking every day to meal prep, because think about it this way: if you wait until you're hungry to then go cook a healthy meal, most likely than not, you're probably going to grab something that's quick, convenient. And what is usually quick and convenient? Fast food, right? What is usually quick and convenient? Things that are usually unhealthy, right? Like the snacks and the chips and all this other stuff are usually what's going to be quick. So if you are a busy mom, you are working a busy 9 to 5, and you're on the go all the time, you need to meal prep, okay? And you do not have to meal prep for all 5 days. So if you're someone who's like, I just don't like, how my food tastes after day 4 or day 5, I would probably say get over yourself. Okay, we're eating here for help. But I also feel you at the same time, because I like my food to taste good. So I would say maybe just meal prep for 3 days, and then in the middle of the week, meal prep again if you can. Or another helpful tip is actually to just pre-season all of like your meats and stuff like that, and separate them, whether you put them in plastic containers like the Ziploc containers, and you can freeze them and just defrost them really quick the day of, or you can just put them in the fridge actually in the little packets and have them already seasoned, and then you just cook them when you're ready to eat. So now you don't have to season, you don't have to measure out, and it's already ready to go. So that's just a tip for you guys. But before we get into meal prepping, let me put my hair up in a scrunchie. For all my natural hair girlies, this is your sign. Go grab some satin scrunchies. They do not pull out your hair. And if you have curly hair like me, they help keep the curls in without having that crazy indentation. So this is your sign. Go grab one. Anyways, let's get the hair. Let's put some music on and let's get to cooking. Alexa, play Get Up Mix. I don't even got Alexa. I got Siri, but I turned off my Hey Siri because I feel like they just be listening to all of our business. You want to know the secret to meal prepping when you don't feel like it? Come in. It's just discipline. That's it. There's no real secret. I know you thought I was going to say something serious, right? We're about to play a praise song, so I feel like I need to praise the Lord in this moment, just to seal this. So just a little update. I have chopped the steak and the salmon, and what I'm going to do right now is put some dry seasonings on there with a little bit of like garlic and stuff like that. I will show you guys what seasonings I'm putting on there, or list it on the screen so that you know how I'm seasoning it. And then what I'm going to do is basically keep it in a container in the fridge, and then I'm going to cook it as I go throughout the week. Just like I was mentioning to you guys earlier, if you're someone who doesn't like to meal prep and put everything in containers, and you have a little bit more flexibility, what you can do is you can just basically pre-cut, pre-chop everything and pre-season everything and just have it in the fridge ready to go and ready to cook whenever you're ready, so you don't have to go through all of that extra legwork. Because sometimes if we think about it, a lot of the work that comes to cooking is also because we have to do all the chopping and cutting and the washing of the meat and all that stuff. So doing that now helps facilitate the process and makes it a little bit easier. And there's been seasons where I basically bounce between the two. So some seasons when I'm like super, super busy and, I was working like a 9 to 5 and I had to go, like I was not home majority of the day, I always meal prepped and like I had everything in containers regardless of what it was. And that's just because in that particular season, I had to do that. right? When I used to work as a corporate banker, I had to do that. But now that I have a little bit more flexibility in terms of being able to come back home and I have like gaps in between the day, I'm able to, thankfully, by the grace of God, cook my meals, the day of. So that's why I'm doing that. So I just want to kind of give you guys a heads up. And it does taste fresher when you cook the meals the day of. And I really do find enjoyment. But keep in mind that you don't have to do this. You can meal prep everything the day of and then just put them into meal prep containers. So let's get to seasoning, and I'm going to go and prep the veggies and all that other stuff. So if you guys saw yesterday, I did get this recipe card from Central Market, and I'm gonna follow the recipe for the honey salmon, but not to the T. I like to add a little razzle dazzle on mine. So for the dry rub seasoning that I'm gonna put on there, we're gonna put some black pepper, just a little bit of salt, not too much because the soy sauce has salt. And then we're gonna put some garlic, some Creole seasoning. This is where I'm adding a little razzle dazzle. Okay, if you didn't know, well, now you know. And then I'm going to be putting some ground ginger on there. So nothing too crazy, just because when I actually cook the salmon, the sauce is what's going to really give it that oomph that it needs. So we don't need to overpower it. Okay. Made fun of you. This is your sign. Do not be afraid to season generously, especially when you have this much meat. The reason why y'all meal prep be tasting all crazy is because y'all don't put no season on there. Okay, don't come for me. All right, so only thing that I'm going to season the steak with for now is going to be this Kinder's brand. I got put onto this, and when I tell you, they do not miss. Their sauces are really good. Their spices are also pretty good. So this is the wood fire garlic, and in here is just salt, dehydrated onion, garlic, and then it has chili pepper, paprika, and some like smoked flavors. So this is like a combination, and I'm going to only put this on there, and then as I cook throughout the week, then I'll also put whatever, because this is also going to require some sort of like sauce slash glaze when I make the beef and broccoli. Okay, so brief intermission. I'm about to put my grapes in here, and I did dry them off, and I already washed them and everything, so that during the week I could just grab and go and make things very easy. And that's another tip for you guys. If you have a sweet tooth, I love grapes. What I like to do is just keep some grapes or pineapples on deck, so that whenever I have the sweet tooth, I can grab some, because that's way much healthier than going to grab some candy. And if you are someone who likes like a little bit of like a sweet and sour, if you were like one of those people that like those little sour Skittles type of thing, what I recommend you do is grab some grapes, put a little bit of stevia and some like lemon juice or like a little sour type glaze with a little bit dash of salt, and then freeze it and then shake it up in there, and it's going to give you like a little sour grape type thing going on. And you can usually do this with the green grapes, not the red grapes. But if you don't care to do all the other stuff, what you can simply do is just put the grapes in the freezer, let them in there for at least an hour, 30 minutes to an hour, and then just bite into them. They're gonna taste so good. Try it, and then come back to this video and let me know how you like it. But anyways, I put this paper towel here at the bottom just to make sure that if there's any excess liquid, that it absorbs it throughout the week, so that it doesn't get any like mold or it doesn't go that bad. All right, so another tip that I would give you guys is just meal prep a whole bunch of rice if that is something that you consume, and then put it in one of these like big containers, for example this, and then you can just grab and go throughout the week. And that's gonna also be a great way to kind of make it feel like you're having variety, because what you can do is mix and match your meal prep. So for example, you guys know that I'm gonna be having steak and salmon this week. So what I could do to make it feel like I'm having different meals is have rice and steak one day and then salmon and rice the other day. Right, so it still fits within my meal prep for the week. I can still have the same portion sizes, but now I basically spiced up the meals instead of just sticking regimented to the routine. So that's another way that you can make it a little bit more fun. But for my sake, I'm probably gonna just stick to what the menu is for this week. And if you don't know how to cook rice, get a rice cooker. Or if you are extra lazy, go buy the packs of rice, like the 1 minute rice, and you can literally just microwave the rice and it'll be done. I don't do that because I don't like how it tastes. And for me, I've been cooking rice for so long now, so I know how to do it. After you wash your rice and everything, you're gonna put that back on the stove. And I like to season my rice. If you don't want to do all that, that's okay. Do what works best for you. But we're gonna put some complete seasoning on there. And then I'm gonna just put a little dash of olive oil. And I find that the olive oil really does help my rice cook a little bit better. I lied, I don't have olive oil, I have avocado. And I'm just gonna put just a tiny bit. I'm not gonna measure this out because it's gonna be distributed throughout the week. So I barely put anything in there. And it's not gonna really have a huge impact on like calorie wise. Then I'm going to bring it to a boil. I normally place it on very high heat when I bring it to a boil. And then I let it come to the boil. After that, I grab a piece of foil. Once it's boiling, stir it, put whatever you want to put in there, if you want to put butter, and then I put the foil on top of it and then put the lid back on, and then I reduce it on low, and then I cook it for about 25 minutes, and I get nice rice. So that was just for 1 minute tutorial on how to cook rice. You're welcome. Alright guys, so it is about to be 10 p.m. and I finished chopping up everything, seasoning what I needed to, putting them into containers, and now they're in the fridge. So I'm going to meet you guys tomorrow just to run you through what I eat in a day, and I will also be sharing the recipe for the salmon and for the beef and broccoli in tomorrow's clip as I cook them. If you are liking this video so far, please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and also comment down below. It's Monday and I had some calls this morning and I'm about to go ahead to the gym downstairs to go do some cardio, fasted cardio. All I'm doing is incline walk on the treadmill. So I'm going to show you guys what I eat in a day for today. So I had the morning coffee and I only just put, look, I don't have no fancy coffee machine. I've tried those in the past. I end up never using them. So I just get some instant coffee, boil a little bit of hot water, pour a little bit of the water into the coffee ground, and then I pour that water over some ice. Then I put some unsweetened sugar-free almond milk, put 1 pack of stevia and a little bit of the sugar-free caramel or vanilla in there, mix it all up, and it does the job and it hits the spot just fine for me. I used to be on the black coffee only wave, but you know, I need a little flavor in my life. So I've had that, and that I find that's been really good for my energy because I have actually been trying to stay away from like energy drinks and like a lot of excessive pre-workouts. Like if push comes to shove and I have to take one, I'll get it, but I've been really trying my best to stay away from that and just get like coffee instead because it's more natural. So now I'm about to go do my walk, 45 minutes, and then I'll show you guys what I eat after, which is going to be my pre-workout snack for my actual lifting. So we're back from the gym and I'm about to have my pre-workout snack that I'm going to eat, and then I'm going to go to the gym and get a workout in. So what we're going to be having is the sourdough bread with some peanut butter and honey. So just to show you guys, I already had input this from the day that I went grocery shopping 2 days ago. So I already have my meals put into MyFitnessPal and prep for the week. And basically just as the days go on, I'll make any like micro adjustments that need to be made. Because for example, I have 99 grams of sourdough bread, but the day of, I might go and weigh it and it might end up being a little bit more or less depending on the slice of bread I have, because the sourdough, if you guys are familiar, is not cut in the same type of slices, so it gets like bigger and smaller. I'll show you what I mean in just a second. So that's where I'll go in and make little minor adjustments throughout the days, but I'll just copy and paste from Monday's meal prep onto the next day and the next day and the next day because I kind of eat the same thing for the week. If you're someone who does not like tracking calories, I recommend tracking. especially for a period of time. And if you're new to things, because it really helps you put into perspective how much you're eating. And if you're anything like me, I love to eat, so I can honestly overeat. So having something where I can track and have a realistic number of what I'm eating helps me stay accountable. But if you're someone who's like, look, I just don't want to track and I can't track, I would say the best bet here is to really do one, portion control, and two, try to stick to completely whole foods. So whole foods are things that have like one ingredient. So that's like lettuce, or like just sourdough, or things like that, that you don't have a whole bunch of extra ingredients, because normally they're going to be very low in calories and they're going to be healthier for you because they're minimally processed. So that would be a tip. Now I'm starving. I'm about to go make this so that we can go to the gym. All right, so another tip. I hope you guys can hear me over this air fryer. I normally bake my sourdough in the air fryer. I don't have a toaster, but my air fryer can be used as a toaster as well. So just a tip on, if you guys are going to be using peanut butter, first and foremost, I do recommend that you get some sort of natural peanut butter. If you turn the back of this, you'll notice that there's only like 3 ingredients on here, which is just the peanuts, a little bit of sugar, and some palm oil, right? And that's about it. And I use this app called the Yuka app, where you can scan the back of like nutrition labels to see like what is the rating on the product, or if it's a good product or not. And I had scanned this and I found that this one was better. Another thing is, if you're someone who loves peanut butter like me, I would recommend that this is one of those things that you should track, because peanut butter is easy to overeat and it's so dense in calories, just like nuts. And sometimes people don't realize that they're overeating on it and can easily be getting like 400 or 500 calories just from peanut butter alone. And that throws them off of their macro count for the day. So if you turn the back of this nutrition label, you'll see the recommended, let me see if it focuses. You'll see the recommended serving size for the peanut butter. And I am going to eat the serving size, so that will run me those macros. So as you saw, I grabbed one of these electrolyte packets, and this is the Glacier Freeze flavor. I like this flavor and the orange one. I actually think I'm going to switch to the orange one. And what this is just simply an electrolyte packet, and this is really good for all my people who sweat a lot. This is going to help with performance. It's going to help replenish the sodium and the sweat that you're losing if you sweat a lot. And I will just list some benefits of electrolytes on the screen so you kind of understand. I put it with a lot of ice, some water, and in my shaker bottle, and then I go right ahead and shake. Cheers. I just had the breakfast and that was really good. I haven't had boiled eggs in a very long time, so it really just was a nice change, because I eat eggs a lot. Times you can get tired of whatever it is that you're eating. So one hack that I like to do is I will switch up the way that I make the eggs. So you can do omelets for a couple of weeks, then you can do scrambled, then you can do like crack the egg over the skillet and do over medium or over high to have our lunch. So we just finished doing some work. It's about 6:48 and we're about to head back upstairs. I am in my apartment's conference area just doing some work. I like to make myself some Greek yogurt with the honey roasted cashews, which I told you has been having me in a chokehold lately. So I'm going to show you guys how I make it. And then I'm going to go for a walk outdoors just to make sure I'm getting all of my steps in today, just because today was not a gym day for me. I went to the gym, but I didn't train any clients today. I moved them to tomorrow. So that I've been a little bit more like sedentary today. So that's the reality. If you work a desk job, or you find that you're always sedentary, you have to really make an active decision to get up and get moving. And I tell people this a lot, especially if you feel like as you get older, you feel like you've gained weight or like you're struggling to lose weight. Oftentimes it's not necessarily that your metabolism has slowed down, because studies show that our metabolisms are just as good at 20 as it is at 40, right? But the thing that happens is usually our lifestyle changes and we usually get more sedentary. I'm not sure if you guys have heard that term, that sitting is the new smoking. And what that means is because we have a sitting problem and inactivity epidemic in America, where we're just always on the couch, we're not moving, we drive everywhere, so we're not really moving our bodies like we're supposed to, hence why the unnecessary weight gain, in addition to eating crazy foods that are high fat, high carbs, high calories, and really overly processed. So I really advocate, guys, get up, get outside, and get moving. This is not the point of this video. This isn't what I eat in a day video, but I had to just put that as a shameless plug. All right, let me pack everything up and let's go get this snack. This is about to taste so good. I already know it. And I'm about to do the taste test with you guys on camera, even though I've had this before. But I mix all of the ingredients in well. And one thing that I like to do is also I measure out how much honey I put in there. Just because, one, I don't want to overdo it. Because honey is good for you, especially if it's natural. But you don't want to overdo the sugar. So, and then I make sure I measure out the nuts. Have to measure out the nuts because you might overdo on the nuts. Especially because the nuts are so high in calories. So here, guys, take a bite. Now it's time to take a bite. Guys, if you like Greek yogurt and you also like honey roasted cashews and you have like a sweet tooth craving for something like sweet cinnamony and sweet, this, I promise you, is so good. And you get easily like what, 18 grams of protein. You get some good carbs from the nuts, some healthy fats from the nuts. So this, 10 out of 10. Go for this walk, and then we're gonna come back for the last and final meal, which is dinner. And dinner is going to be a lower carb meal, so it's just going to be beef and broccoli with the corn. So I know you guys saw at the beginning of the video the menu was one way, but I ended up swapping the menu out. So basically I still have the same ingredients, but instead I would have the salmon with the rice, and then the beef and broccoli will be just one meal itself, and then I'll have the corn with the beef and broccoli. So that's just the only difference that I made. Alright, let's do a taste test. I've prayed already, and I'm excited. I'll give you guys a little yeah. This is exactly what I needed. Alright guys, so that is a wrap. I'm in the process of editing this very video that you are watching, so be sure to hit the like button and comment down below which meal was your favorite. And also let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this. So this is what I'm eating for the entire week, and when I tell you guys I feel so energized, I'm getting my vitamins as well. I hope I put that in the video. And I'm also eating these meals on a consistent basis and timing it around my workouts. And when I tell you the energy, the skin, everything. So I really just want to like put these videos out there to really show you guys that food is really fuel, and that also eating healthier doesn't have to be boring. You just have to take a little bit of time to actually curate dishes that you actually like. And keep in mind, everything that I cooked in this video can be meal prep and already cooked. The only reason why I didn't do that was just because I have more flexibility and I just want to cook my meals the day of in this current season that I'm in. But I navigate between different seasons, and sometimes I'll meal prep everything, some weeks I'll meal prep half the things, so it really all depends. But I hope you found a recipe that you'll be trying, and if you do try the recipe, be sure to come back to this video and comment down below which was your favorite. And I pray that you guys have a blessed day, evening, whenever you're watching this, and I will see you guys in the next video.